when you're in the United States, it's like another world, right? It's just like bigger and better. People are hungrier and more driven than Aussies. So I was like, I need to be around that. I need to I need to be hungrier. I'm not hungry enough.
Focus on hitting your goals in every area of your business. Remember, the universe rewards the bold. A leader has to take the risks.
All right, it is Wealth on the Beach podcast. We are here with my favorite Australian businesswoman, Belinda Agnew. She's so passionate. She's so motivated, young entrepreneur who's making a name for herself in the B2B world. She is hungry for success and prides herself on sourcing and developing talent in an innovative way. And we're going to talk about all that innovation. A dynamic woman transforming companies and helping them to make millions. She is now developing her new concept to change the way recruitment works. We're going to talk about recruiting today, and looking to make a difference in the way we hire talent forever. Okay, so first of all, what the heck is B2B, right? What is B2B and what does that mean? Because a lot of people are going like, what does that mean?
Right, but like that intro, holy moly, that was like an awesome intro just right there. Oh my God. B2B is business to business.
Okay.
Business to business.
Explain what that means and how are you involved in that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I always use acronyms like all the time. I need to stop doing that, but I always use B2C or B2B. So B2B is business to business and B2C is business to consumer. So a lot of the things that we do is all within B2B, hence why we attack LinkedIn. And I've talked about LinkedIn a lot because LinkedIn is a B2B tool where we go out and source new clients, we go out and source new candidates. So business to business is pretty much our domain, and it's what we really focus on within Focus Group, and obviously recruiting talent and sourcing new clients as well.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to get into all that stuff, I promise, but I want to, because you're my first guest that is from Australia. Okay. Yes. So this is like, we are making the move to Australia. And so I want to know, like, where were you born and like, what did your parents do? And tell me a little bit about the creation story of Belinda.
Okay. Vulnerable side coming out. So really interesting. I am the only child, so I don't have siblings. And I am 29. It started for me, I think, when I was around about 19 to 20. That's when I really knew I was made to make a difference, right? My first business ever was when I started a company called Open Education, was at 23. So I was this like young girl, young kid, had no idea about business, had no clue what I was doing. And I was working for this company. It was called Migration Agency, where they were recruiting offshore talent, bringing them into Australia, getting them into a college, like a course. I don't know what you guys call it there, but we call it university here. I think you guys call it college over there. And we were just developing these students and bringing them into big universities here in Australia. And we were partnered with all of these well-known universities. At that time, this company, UVision Australia, the director, had come to me and he said, Belinda, I really love what you're doing. Let's go in partnership. He said, I want you to focus on the domestic market and I'll do the international market. I think at that time I was like 22, almost turning 23, something crazy, right? And to me, I still don't understand how I even did that. But at that time, I started a domestic department where we were recruiting students domestically into universities. Then one of his partners, his main university partners, approached me. He's like, hey, we need to catch up for coffee. I want to chat with you. I was like, something's wrong. something's going to happen, right? I was like, am I doing the wrong thing? They don't like me, or something's happening. He tried to pull me away from the current company and said, can you please come and work for us? We can see what you're doing. You're absolutely dominating the domestic market, and we'd love you to come on board with us. And I was like, I'd love to work for you, but I really feel like I want to work for myself. How about we go into partnership and we start up a new company? And I think I was just turning 23 at that time. And he was like, okay, let's do it.
So you like just had this from a young age. You just had this need and this
I always
want.
had it. You're born with it, right? I believe so. You're born to be hungry. I don't think it's something you can learn, in my opinion.
But let me take, because I really want to go back farther. Okay, so I want to know the 10-year-old little girl, Belinda, that is motivated. Like, okay, so what did your parents do for a living? Did you grow up rich or poor?
No, so my parents weren't wealthy at all. So my mom was far from an entrepreneur. Still today, she doesn't know what I do. Like, if I talk to her, she just doesn't get it. She's like, yeah, my daughter, she like does stuff on the laptop. That's really how she describes me, which is quite funny. And I think I wouldn't change that for the world, because it really brings me back to being humble, I guess, and realizing where I come from. But yeah, my mom, she was in hospitality actually for a little bit. She had her own business, which was a tinting shop business. When I think I was around 7 years old. That was a business she had with a partner she was with at the time. But she didn't really understand entrepreneurship. She didn't really understand the business side of things, or she didn't really have that in her. From the age of 10, I would say, at a young age, I was super shy. I was really, really shy. I was the complete opposite to what I am now. I was the weird kid in the corner that would just like say nothing. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I was scared of everybody. I was just like completely different to what I am now. But I think at the age of, I would say around 12, 13 is where we went into high school. I don't know what you guys call it there, but that's when I really started. Yeah, so that's when I really started to boost my confidence. I figured, oh my God.
How did that happen? Like, what did you do?
I think
what was the change?
People would like giving me attention. I was like, okay, I'm pretty good looking. Okay, I understand now. And then like I started to be confident, and then I made friends. And it was just attention. I was just getting so much attention from everybody, from men, from women, from teachers. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, am I like a gift or something? And I just grew my confidence. I became like this ego person. I had a lot of ego at that time. But I think from there, that's when I was like, I need to do something. So I went to TAFE, which is TAFE. I don't know what you guys call it. I think it's like after college, like after high school. You can go into like it's like a college, but it's not a university. And at that time I was like, what am I going to do with myself? Oh my God, I don't know what I want to do. I actually studied a beauty therapy course at the time, which I was like, oh, I want to be a beauty therapist. Hated that. I think I lasted like 2 weeks at the job. It was
okay. All right. Wait a minute. Ever. So beauty therapist, what, like if
so
you're
like
not
facial,
pure, if you're not pretty, they put you through therapy over there? Is that what happens in Australia?
No, that's what.
Okay.
Beauty therapist. Yeah. So at the time, I was like doing the whole facials and the massage and the nails. That's what I thought it was about,
gotcha.
right?
Okay.
What they had me do was like sweeping floors and like doing all the nasty stuff. And I was like, I am not cut out for this job. And I lasted 2 weeks. I actually dropped out of school. So I didn't finish all of my school. I dropped out in year 10. So I didn't go up until year 11 and 12. I dropped out really early. It just wasn't for me. I just didn't really I wasn't passionate about it. I went to school to hang out with friends. I never went to learn. I would always wag school. I don't know what you guys call it there, but leave school throughout the day and just go and do stuff and then come back and act like I was going to school for my parents. But I would never actually go to school.
It's called ditching school. Yes, ditching school.
That's exactly what I was doing.
I am guilty of ditching a lot of schools. So yes. So the other question I had for you was, were you a good kid or a bad kid? And it sounds like you were a bad kid.
I think I was a pretty bad kid. Yeah. Honestly, my hat's off to my mother. Oh my God. I think I was a pretty bad kid, and I went through a bunch of stuff as well. Like, I hung out with the wrong crowd. I did wrong things. I'd never actually told this story before, but I'll tell you. I got in the wrong crowd, right? And I had this group of friends. They used to go out to shops and steal, thieve things from shops, right? So at that time, I was with these girls one time in a Westfield. And it was my mom's birthday. My mom was with me. So my friends were in these shops, stealing clothes, stealing fashion items and all this crazy stuff. They had bags of stuff. Anyway, we got caught. So this security guard caught us. I think I was 14 or 15, something crazy. And he brings us to my mom at the shop. My mom's face was like, what is going on? And he's like, I'm really sorry, but we're going to have to take your daughter to the police station. And my mom's like, what?
She's freaking out.
I know she was freaking out. And I was with my friends, Angel was one of them. She was pretty bad. Fatima and a few others. And we went to the police station. Obviously, my mom had said to the police person, please just scare her, just say a bunch of stuff, say she's going to go to jail. And I didn't know this until after.
Wow.
So he was like, if you do this again, or we're actually considering of putting you into jail because this is so bad what you did. And I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go to jail. What's going on? And I was like, but I didn't do anything. And they're like, it doesn't matter. It's worse because you were with them. And I was like, oh my God. My mom's freaking out. But that was a pretty crazy time. I went through this little bad experience with this group of friends, and they used to do drugs and a bunch of other stuff. And I went through that phase. And then I think when I moved to Sydney, moved out of Sydney, was when I really kind of distanced myself from those friends and became my own, I guess. But yeah, that was a pretty crazy story. I was
well, I don't know. Maybe that's why we connected, and that's why we get along. Because I was a bad boy growing up, and I got in a lot of trouble. And
did you go to jail?
I was never went to jail. Although one time we did ditch school, or wag school, or whatever you call it. Right?
Me too.
We did school, and we did get caught though. The police caught us, and they did take us to the station though. All the kids, it was a ditching party. And so, but anyways, when I was 14, I was out with a couple of friends, and I was opening up cars and trying to steal things inside of cars. But check this out. This is an interesting story. That I actually went into a car, found a boombox radio, okay? And I took the radio and I stole the radio. And when I got back to the house, there was a tape cassette, and it was from Jack Canfield. I don't know if you ever heard of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. So these books are, Jack Canfield's a big motivational speaker guy. Well, I'm 14 years old. It transformed my life. This tape,
crazy story,
from this radio, that I stole, and I still to this day I still have the boombox radio. 30 something years later, I still have the boombox radio. I still have the same cassette tape. I kept it all those years. And it just taught me how to ask for what I wanted. Crazy. It taught me to go for my dreams and everything. So, hey, look, let me ask
story,
you this.
By the way.
Yeah, I mean, it really changed my life. All right, so young woman challenges of being a young woman? What?
Right now or before? I think the first thing that comes to mind is
Before
having.
and now.
I think the first thing that comes to mind is having a single mom. So my mom, I didn't know my father. I still don't know my father till this day. I think that really, it's kind of basic, but I think that really was a struggle from the very beginning as a child and growing up, and even till now. I think because I never really had that father figure to teach me things that my mom couldn't teach me, I think that was a real challenge for me. And I think that's why I'm such an alpha. And I think, that's why who I am, I guess. And I'm so hungry and driven because my mom, she was a single mom. And I was like, oh my God, she can't, do everything on her own. So I've got to go out and hustle, right? So it's like either her or it's me. So I'm like, I need to hustle. I need to go and get what's mine. So,
because I mean, it's not normal. It's not normal to me. It's not like super normal where 29-year-old woman is just killing it like you're killing it right now. I mean, just on fire right now. I mean, you do not look 29. Number one, you don't look 29,
okay.
but you don't act 29 at all. And again, we met at
Laguna Beach.
Laguna Beach a couple of weeks ago, and I got to meet you in person, and I was just so impressed by just your professionalism and your focus and your determination and your courage. I mean, come on, I can't get some people to pay $20 to go to an event, right, that could change their life.
I know, right?
Paid your own money, took off from Australia, came all the way to California just so you could meet a bunch of people.
Absolutely.
That's just crazy. And it's just awesome. So it's impressive.
Yeah, like I say to people, it's like you go to the gym to work out, to feel good, to be healthy. You also need to take your brain to the gym, dude. Like you need to shred the F out of your brain as well as your body. Like it's the same thing. Like you need to go and like just shred everywhere. So I went because I wanted to learn off the best, I want to be surrounded by the best. Environment matters to me. It's like who I surround myself with is who I become. So that's why I went, and I'm going back in 3 months, and I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay for 3 months this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're going to build a lot of relationships.
Absolutely.
Help a lot of people get a lot of business.
Yeah.
So what's your goal then? So what's your goal? You're going to come to California. What's your goal when you get here?
Just build relationships. Honestly, just network, build relationships. We will go to launch for Jobs on Q in June, July for the app. So at that time that I'm in California, I really want to test the market in the United States to see whether it's marketable over there, which I know it will be, but it's just such a bigger market, right? The amount of people that would love this product that I already know about, that I really want to get in front of, is what I want to do. So I just really want to network, build relationships, build a bunch of business relationships as well, and personal ones. And I think in Australia, there's only so much you can do here. And I guess there's only so much challenge here. Whereas when you're in the United States, it's like another world, right? It's just like bigger and better, and people are hungrier and more driven than Aussies. So I was like, I need to be around that. I need to I need to be hungrier. I'm not hungry enough. I need to be more passionate.
All right. So tell everybody now. I want to get into a little bit of like, what do you do, right? So tell everybody what you do and how your business works. And, let's start with that.
Absolutely. So Focus Group is a recruitment agency where we recruit tech, digital sales talent, executive search. So we work with companies like Salesforce, Telstra, Rockwell Automation, Oracle, Accenture, most of the digital agencies here in Australia we work with as well. a bunch of big tech digital names, right? So we recruit anywhere from business development managers right down to front-end developers, back-end developers, CEOs, CFOs, people on the board. We kind of grow their talent. We also do work with a lot of people overseas trying to grow offices here in Australia to tap into the market here because they just don't know where to go. So we grow the teams for them here in Australia if they're in Toronto or New York City or, you know, somewhere else. And right now, I guess our hot market, we're working with a lot of fintech companies. So a lot of people doing a lot of cool stuff in fintech, which is really exciting. So that's the agency where we recruit talent. Now, from that, I've had that for about 2 years. From that, we've slowly built an application. I've got 2 partners in this new venture, which is a company called Jobs on Q. And Jobs on Q is an application which I believe will change the way we recruit forever. And the reason why I say that is because I feel this is such a product that's going to innovate the market, maybe dominate a little bit. There are people doing it, but check this out. So say you're on a job platform and you want talent, right? So you go and search for talent. You don't just have a CV, you have a pitch video, 30 to 60-second video of that person pitching themselves. Then you have a video of 5 questions they've answered to get a grasp on, you know, their experience and their skills and their tonality, their presence, all of that. Then you get access to their social handles as well. So this will in turn get rid of the whole screening process, the first interview stages, all of that, because you're going to know, A, are they going to fit with the current culture and the team? B, do they have the presence and the tonality to be able to do the job? And these are the things that you're wasting time in the first face-to-face interview for 40 minutes, right? If you can wipe that out completely in 1-minute video, like, it just doesn't it's a no-brainer. It makes sense, right? So for us, that's really what we're trying to launch, where we get a bunch of candidates and just really build this profile and this database. And candidates struggle on a day-to-day basis. They're just like, how do I get in front of this employer? What do I do? How do I differentiate myself? And it's video. It's video. You need to show up somehow to be able to differentiate yourself based on a CV. I believe CVs will die eventually. That's just my opinion. I think your profile will still stay there based on what you've done in the past, but an actual CV will die. It's just not.
Okay. All right. CV.
Not the future.
CV.
Resume.
Your resume.
Resume.
That's the CV you're saying. Okay.
Correct.
Resume.
So
okay.
a resume, yeah.
I just want to make sure everybody that's listening.
Oh,
they know
yeah.
what that
Sorry,
means.
guys. Yeah.
That's okay.
So a
That's
resume.
all right.
A resume is like, you know, the PDF document of all your skills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. But so you're basically saying that the resume is going to die. And really, this is the new way. No. I totally believe what you're saying. I'm 100% on board with what you're saying. I believe video and content and social media handle and the way that you can speak on camera is going to be the way that people are going to get jobs in the future. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
Yes. I mean,
absolutely. And the cool thing with that is that a lot of people, the feedback is like, but I don't have time to sit there and watch like 20 application videos. That's a lot of work. Like, I need to, like, you know, fasten the process up. So how do I do that? So the way that you do it is you headhunt. So you can Boolean key search from their CV to whether they're going to fit or not. Like, headhunt on the platform. And I think, not now, but I think in the second phase second year of the company, we're trying to build an AI, a robot, to teach the audio to pick up the skills from the pitch video. So if they say something like hungry, passionate, you could then type that in the platform and that will come up based on what they say in the video. So like an audio pickup, the AI is teaching the audio to headhunt, if that makes sense.
Oh, totally makes sense. I mean,
It's a little bit technical, like the way I'm talking about it, but yeah. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
So now let's think about this for a second, because this is very important for the people that are listening right now, and they're thinking or watching, and they're thinking like, okay, if I want a job 5 years from now, I better start. I better start getting my social media under control. I better start having a good presence online. I better start learning how to speak to a camera, because this is the way we're going to be doing things in the future. I mean, what do you say about that? I mean, how do we do that? How does somebody do that?
I don't think everybody needs to have a social media. Like, in my opinion, they can do whatever they want to their social media. That's like their personal life. We can't control that. I do believe everybody should have a LinkedIn profile. Everybody should have a LinkedIn profile, a LinkedIn presence, because obviously it's a tool that we use to find you. Like, this is the main hub where recruiters find talent. So I think you do need to have a presence on LinkedIn. Not necessarily be a rock star on video, because not everybody is a rock star on video. You need to kind of play to your strengths, but you just need to, I guess, show up in a way that you get your message across to the employer. And this is the way you're going to get your dream job. It's like being in an interview, right? It's the same thing of being in an interview, on a one-on-one interview. You need to sell yourself to the employer to employ you. It's the same thing.
So is there any tips? Can you give us some tips? Can you give us some tips on how somebody can be more effective?
I just think you just need to stop overthinking things in life, in my opinion. I think a lot of people just overthink so much crap. It's like, you just don't need to think that. Just like, get a camera, put it in front of you, and just talk. It's literally like talking to somebody. If you're shy and you're really uncomfortable doing that, just get somebody in the room to film you if you want, and talk to them. And that way they can record the process for you, and you could edit that if you want. But in my opinion, I just think that's the future. You need to get on it. If it's not now, it will happen eventually. But yeah, just don't overthink things. Just do. A lot of people overthink a lot of things. Am I going to be judged? Am I going to be hated? It's like, everybody's not going to love you. And that's just the honest truth. So you just need
to. But
isn't that
really okay? I mean, if you think about it, like, there are billions of people. There's billions of people on the planet.
It's in the world.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, even the United States and Canada, where most of my market is from, I mean, there's 400 million people. I mean, really, like, and what's interesting about my business is I only need about 1,000 agents. Okay, I need 1,000 licensed agents. That generates about $1 million of income a year for me. So out of the 400 million, I think I could find a couple of thousand people, right? That's a nice little income, right? $2-3 million a year, right? It's not bad, right? So it's you could just get by on something like that. So what I'm saying is that, we all got to get over ourselves in thinking that, because I think that's the biggest challenge, right? People get on camera and they think that everything they're going to say, people are going to judge them. First of all, even if they do judge you, they're going to forget about you in like 3 minutes, because they're going to be on to the next video. Do you know what I mean? So literally, people have such short memories of what, you're actually saying. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to assess, are you real? And ultimately, I want to be as authentic as I possibly can, because I only want the people that actually like me,
Absolutely.
I only want to interact with those people. If somebody says this guy's an asshole, he's a jerk, I don't like the way he talks, I don't, whatever it is, that's okay. I'll find somebody in this world that wants to get along with me. That's okay. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with people not liking you. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
No, I totally agree with everything you're saying. You're right on point. Like, you shouldn't sit there and reminisce or, oh, is that person not going to like me? Is that guy not going to like me? What is she saying about me? Oh my God. Like, it's just like, it's so true. Not everyone's going to love you, and it's just the reality. It's the reality, and you just need to understand that and just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Keep doing you. Keep showing up. And like you said, the people that will like you will stay, and those are the only people you want to be surrounded by anyway, because that's your authentic self, being your authentic self, and that's how you'll survive in life.
What does being authentic mean to you? What is that?
Just being yourself, and being true at the core to who you really are and your purpose and your why, your mission. And not changing that. Don't change your mission. Don't change your purpose. Don't change your why based on what people think about you or what other people are doing. Just focus on what you really want in life, and then you'll surround the people that want the same things, if that makes sense.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, what inspires you every day that keeps you rocking, man? I mean, what is your goal? What's the ultimate goal? What's the end game for you?
Look, honestly, the end game, which is probably something I can talk about. My friend 𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐑 is my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful friend. She's actually a LinkedIn influencer. She's absolutely dominating the industry right now. Her and I are starting a talk show on 𝐃𝐈𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀 TV. So we're launching that the end of this month, where we're talking to high ticketer entrepreneurs across the world about topics in business. So the true core to me is, yes, I love what I'm doing in terms of dominating recruitment, creating this product in Jobs on Q, which is going to dominate. But the real end game for me is I really just want to be up on stage. I want to impact people in a way that I would have wanted to be impacted. And I think there's a bunch of people impacting lives, right? But for me, I really want to be my authentic self and tell my story that I probably haven't told a bunch of people, because people think in their mind, oh, she's so successful, she's so beautiful, she's got everything going for her. She can because she had this and she's got this but it's no, if you knew my story, you would be like, how is that even possible for her? So I think I just really want to tell my story, my message, that anybody can really do what you want. Anybody can do what they want to do if you stick by it, right? So my real end goal is to be up on stage, impact lives, touch people's lives, and really get my message to millennials, I guess, and the new entrepreneur next generation. That's definitely what I want to do. And obviously surround myself with the best, like Tony Robbins, Tom Bilyeu, David Meltzer, and just kind of connect all these guys together and make a super big impact on the world, for sure. That's kind of my end game. But in saying that, everything else that I'm doing, because I love playing. I love playing business. Business is so, it's my passion. I just love new ventures. I love starting up companies. I love being involved in really innovative companies. And that's kind of keeping me on my feet and challenged. I couldn't just impact people's lives. I need to do business as well. I need to play in the field, because that's really what I'm good at.
So do you think that leading from the front is important in business? I mean, because that's basically what you're doing, is you're leading from the front. You're saying, look, I want to build businesses, and I want to, be involved in ventures and things like that. But I also need to do business. I need to actually work it So I
Correct.
understand from the internal side
Absolutely. Absolutely.
versus just be this person that says, hey, I'm just motivated and whatever,
Oh
right?
my
I
God,
mean,
there's
you
so
know,
many of those people. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, no, I don't want to be that person. I definitely want to play on the field. I definitely want to create
perfect.
big brands. So I have something to show for people. I don't want to just get up on stage like, hey guys, like this is what I've done. Like you should do the same. No, like I definitely want to play in the field because I actually love that. Like I love it so much. I love business so much. I love winning deals and doing deals. I love pitching. It's really something I enjoy. And then impact other people to do the same, you know, especially women. I know you're a male, but women struggle, man. Like women just really, really, really struggle to find the
Why?
truth.
Why?
Um,
Why do you think it's a woman issue? Like, why do you
because
see it like that?
look, first of all, I'm not a feminist. Okay. So 98% of my clients are males, 98% of my candidates are males, and I surround myself with males mostly. So I'm not a feminist. I just want to make that clear. But I think getting to know women more now, they are just so, they're so vulnerable, right? And they're just so, they overthink a lot of things, whereas a male wouldn't. They just like, I don't care, I'm going to keep moving forward. Whereas a female would really take that on deep, deep inside, that criticism, and it would constantly play on them. They're very sensitive. So whereas a male, I don't feel they're as sensitive as a female. So I think that's probably one of the reasons. And also women struggle, I know because from experience, is being in meetings with men, they can be super intimidating, right, to most women. And trying to get your message across in a room full of males, and them taking you seriously, not wanting to date you, trying to get your like you're trying to get their business, but they want to date you. They don't want your business, but they're trying to date you. So it's like trying to figure out, okay, like how can I get this person to take me seriously? Because I don't want to date them. I just want their business. But most males just want to date you, and it's the actual truth. And as much as people don't admit that, it's
Well, because one of the things that I wanted to bring up is the fact that because you're a nice looking woman,
a
you know,
nice looking
do
woman.
they a beautiful woman, okay?
It's
So
funny. Yeah.
so because I mean, like, because a
Yeah.
lot of people will watch this or listen to this and they'll go, oh yeah, it's easy for her because she's,
Mm.
but they don't realize that it also comes with some challenges because again,
Oh,
you're in a meeting,
yeah.
you're trying to close the transaction and the dude is slipping you his number or something. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's like
Totally.
that. There's a whole nother set of challenges that I think, because people, they sit back and they go, oh, it's easy for her. I'll never be able to do what she's doing. I'm not that confident. I can't do that. Whatever. And so what do you say to that?
Well, I always say, like, I'm so not confident. People think that I'm this confident butterfly. Like, I am confident, but I'm also not. Like, I still get nervous in front of a camera. I still get nervous doing these things. I still get nervous when I'm on stage. I freak out sometimes. Like, I don't want to do that. But I just constantly say yes to everything, and I'll show up on most things and just do and learn from that. But I think the problem is I actually had this question asked to me, I think 2 weeks ago, you seen on my story. Somebody asked me, Belinda, you seem so confident. You seem so confident. I just don't understand how you're this confident. Where does it come from? Is it something that you've always had, or was it something that was learnt over time? And it was a really good question. I was like, wow, that's a really deep question. And it was from a female because she's really trying to get her brand out there, and she's watching my stories, and she just doesn't know how to kind of approach the world. And I said, look, I'll be really honest with you. If you want me to be vulnerable, I was never confident. I learnt this. This was a skill that I had to learn over time. I was a complete opposite to what I am now. You would not recognize me. Like, I would say 10 years ago, you'd be like, oh my God, who is this woman. I was so sensitive to everything, super not confident. And I think it was just learned over time because I had faced so much rejection in business, so much rejection in kind of not personal life, but in business life. You know, I would pitch, I would try and win deals, and it was always no, 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 yes, no, 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 yeah. And that's how I would build my confidence, is because I was constantly and rejection for me was norm. It was a normal thing. It's like, oh, if he rejects this deal, it's okay. Like, oh, next, you know, dial next, go to the next meeting, make the next move. So that built my confidence dramatically because I wasn't fearful that I would be rejected. That was like a fear that I just got over pretty quickly.
So it is really, so what you're saying, it's a learned thing. I mean, because people will look at people on social media, influencers and people that speak on camera or they're on stage or whatever, and they think it's because earlier you kind of had said, you know, you're kind of born with a lot of this stuff, but the truth is that, yes, I mean, it is true. There's a certain part of like that hungriness that some of us are born with, but I also believe that, you know, I mean, there was no social media 20 years ago, you know, and I mean, shoot, I mean, 15 years ago, there was no social media. And so it's like, I think a lot of people, they think that that's just who these people are. But the truth is, a lot of us had to learn things. I learned how to do a podcast. I learned how to ask questions. I learned how to have a conversation. I learned how to close a sale. I learned how to persuade people to say yes. I learned how to get the check, right? And so, like, I think sometimes it's a cop-out, and I don't know how you feel, but I think, you know, there are men and women that they'll hide behind the fact that they're shy, or they'll hide behind the fact that they're just not that outgoing person or whatever. They'll hide behind that and they'll say, well, I just can't do it because that's me. When in fact, they really, like, in their heart, you know, like
I know,
truly, they wish they could do it. They wish they could do it, but they're not willing to put in the effort. What do you think about that?
Well, I also think it comes down to your environment. Like I always said, environment matters. It does, right? Like if you're going to go hang around with the same people, have the same job, have the same life, have the same partner, like you're not going to grow. Like there's no angle for you to become better and reach your potential because you're not surrounding yourself with the people that are growing. So I think environment is so important. Like I'll keep talking about that because it's seriously changed my life. If I didn't surround myself with these big ballers in my life, I would not be the person I am because they challenge me on a daily basis. You know, if I was still hang out with my friends that were stealing in shops and crazy things, like I'd be that person, right? So I think environment matters, and that's how you reach your full potential because they will support and uplift you every single day to do what you truly want to do. Environment.
I'm loving this, man. I think we could do this all day long, but I'm going to kind of, you know, I'm going to kind of work our way out of here. Yeah, I mean, we're just flying. I mean, we've been on a long time.
Ask me a vulnerable question. I'm ready for the challenge.
Well,
we need to spice this up. Give me a spicy question.
Well, you know, I mean, really though, I mean, you know, what's one of the craziest DMs you got? I mean, like what kind of crazy DMs do you get from these guys and women? I want to know. Come on, tell me.
Okay, we're going there. Okay. So I'll tell you a crazy story. So it's actually pretty crazy. I don't know if I can like talk. You can cut this out if it's like.
This is Wealth on the Beach podcast. We talk about everything.
Okay, so I don't know if you have like a superannuation fund there over there. Do you guys have superannuation funds?
No.
Okay, so I think it's a 401k.
Okay, yeah.
401k. Yeah. So over in Australia, a 401k is a superannuation fund.
Okay.
So I have a family trust, and then a superannuation fund. And I have a guy that manages my superannuation fund, and he does all of that for me. So one day he emails me out of nowhere, and he's like, "Hey, Belinda, I know we've been working together for quite some time and so forth and all this stuff." He's like, "I'd really like you to check out my profile." And he sends me this link, just like this link, a link, like, tap here. Check out my profile, as I'd really like to take you on a date, right? So I click on this link, and this profile comes up. And it was a sugar daddy site. You know a sugar daddy site?
No.
His profile was on this sugar daddy site. And sugar daddy is what they do, which I didn't know at the time. I had to ask somebody, and they educated me on this. Apparently a sugar daddy, they date attractive women, and they don't ask for anything in return, kind of like an escort. They don't ask for anything in return. All they ask is for you to attend the events with them, go on dates with them, to basically be their person by their side.
Okay.
And what they do in return is they buy you luxury items like cars, fashion, and bags.
And this is like a site? So he sent you to this site so you could...
His profile was on the site. So his profile, and then the website was www.sugardaddy.com or something.
That's pretty bold.
Crazy.
That's
dude.
pretty
I was like,
bold.
I actually replied back because I couldn't take it seriously. I was like, hold up. And I was like, yeah. And I was
I make my own money. Sorry, but I make my own money.
Oh my God, crazy. And anyway, I was like, I'm really sorry that this is super unprofessional. I was actually quite pissed off, actually. I was really pissed that he would send that to me. And I was like, I hope we can continue this relationship as a business transaction and not a personal or get awkward from here on out. It was pretty funny. But yeah, he wanted me to become...
How did it end up, though? How did it end up after that? Were you able to keep it? Was he cool about it?
Yeah, he was totally apologetic. He was like, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to take the shot because I wasn't sure how you would take it. And I was like, you are crazy.
That's being bold. Now, seriously though, it's got to be, for a woman, it's got to be kind of hard though on social media, because you probably get a lot of, crazy DMs and just, people ask all the time.
Which is just energy.
Really weird. Yeah,
it's not weird. It's just a lot of negative energy. I used to just delete. Because it's you deleting them, and sometimes you want to reply, but then when you reply, they try to chat you up. And it's a lot of energy wasted, to be honest, a lot of time wasting.
Right.
But yeah, I get it all the time. People trying to ask me questions, trying to date me, trying to, get my number, all of that stuff. So it's definitely a struggle.
Well, hey, look. This has been so much fun. I can't even tell you. I got a couple quick questions, though. I always like to ask these last few ones. Okay. So favorite? No, not spicy, but maybe it depends on what you're into, right?
Okay.
So, favorite book or podcast? Favorite ones out there? Favorite book? Favorite, education or something?
Yeah, so my favorite book is definitely an old one. Most people would know about it. It's called The Secret, which is all about law of attraction. It's one of my favorites because that changed my life to think and believe above and beyond.
Me too.
Yeah. Law of attraction is real, guys. It's a real thing, definitely. What you think?
I talk about it all the time. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Law of attraction, for sure. So The Secret.
Whatever you think about with courage, intensity, determination, passion will ultimately become your reality.
Yes.
Okay, I've been saying that for a long time. So, boom.
So true.
All right, favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Damn, that's a hard one. Oh, yeah, I know. It's actually a chick flick, which is quite interesting, but it's much more than that. It's called The Glitter. and Mariah Carey is a star in it. And it's actually about her whole story, how she became famous. It's kind of like a documentary, but it's an actual movie.
Oh.
And it actually takes her through like how her mom was like homeless and a drug addict, and then she got pulled away from her parents and went into foster care, and then she became this like famous superstar. And yeah, really cool story. I love that movie. It's called The Glitter. It's really inspiring,
Love it.
especially for women.
Favorite food?
Favorite food? Can I just say anything vegan? Because I'm plant-based.
Vegan, all right.
Anything
Plant-based.
vegan, and I've been plant-based for 5 years now. Changed my life forever.
Well, you know, I just ate one of those. What's that new? It's called. What's that new burger that just came out? That new company.
Beyond Burger.
Beyond, yeah.
Beyond Meat.
I was in Bahamas, and
good, right?
I'm not even kidding. I had about 3 of them while I was there that week. Like I kept ordering.
Oh, I thought you meant at the time.
It was so good.
How good is it?
No. It's so good. Yeah.
So good. 100% plant-based. And you feel better for it, right? After.
Okay. So do they make plant-based ice cream?
Yeah, of course. Magnum.
Okay.
Do you know Magnum, the brand?
Is that all plant-based?
Magnum, Cornetto.
Yeah, I think I have. Yeah, I have heard of that.
They do vegan options. They do a lot of vegan options.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many vegan options.
So do you like ice cream or cake? Is there like what's your preference?
I'm a massive sweet person.
Okay.
I just love food.
Too.
I love food in general. If it's vegan, I'll eat it. Like I just love food. I'm a massive foodie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
All
and
right.
Coffee.
I love it. And coffee. So what do you get if you go to Starbucks? Like what do you get? What kind of coffee?
Almond latte.
Almond latte? Okay.
Yeah. Almond latte or a long black, depending on the day. Because if I have almond latte throughout the whole day, I become like really like I get bloated. So I'll have a long black with water,
Gotcha.
coffee and water. Less calories, right?
You are going to dominate the world one day. I see you one day speaking on the largest stages of the world, inspiring millions and millions and millions of people. Just don't forget about some of us little people over here.
Oh,
and
stop
maybe share the stage every once in a while.
Guys, he's like talking himself down. He's an absolute rock star. You know you're a rock star.
Look, we want to know, because I know this podcast is going to go worldwide here. So we want to know,
yes.
How do we get in touch with you? Because we do want to do business with you.
Guys,
and we do want to get you lots and lots of referrals and business.
First of all, I love hearing from people. So don't be shy to send me across a DM on Instagram. Please, please, please. If I inspire you in some way or you have a basic question, message me, guys. Message me. I want to hear from you. So my Instagram handle is my first and last name, which is Belinda Agnew with an AGNEW, and then original. So Belinda Agnew Original is my Instagram handle. My LinkedIn profile is my domain, which is just my first and last name again, Belinda Agnew. And you can also hit me up on email. I'm happy for you guys to email me. Just do not pitch me products, please. It's belinda@focus.com.au, and focus is with a double C. So FOCCUS.com.au. Yes, and I'd love to hear from you guys. Message me. Don't be shy.
Okay, follow. So y'all got to follow Belinda right now, right? Make sure you share this podcast. All of you share this podcast like crazy. It's going worldwide. You got to help us. I know it's going to be in Australia, but we got to get it all the way to the United States, Canada. We got to get it in other countries. Everywhere, we got to get it out there. So just want to remind everybody that I am still signing people up for my Wealth on the Beach Club, which is 1 hour with me coaching, half an hour lesson, half an hour Q&A every single Wednesday morning Pacific time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then, of course, 1 week, every week, one full hour. So also check out my website, alonzoacademy.com, for more details. And as always, again, Belinda, thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
You're amazing.
And for all of you, make sure that you dream bigger, but make sure that you do it now. God bless you. We'll see you at the top.